This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Well, hello there, and hopefully you're off to a great Friday, January the 30th of 2026. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and then hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Okay, so how have you been? How's the last 24 hours or so been for you? Have you been hanging out doing all the fun stuff you get to do? Or have you been looking at some other things and going, man, what has life become? Okay, you can be either or. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. But, you always have to ask those questions of exactly what is going on. So let's talk real quick. It is Friday, as I have already mentioned. And what does that mean around here? It means that it's Freeform Friday. It means that we're going to talk a little bit about everything that is going on inside of the world of the multiverse, because that's kind of how it goes around here. Freeform Friday. We talk a little bit about everything that we did not get to talk about earlier in the week. So if you're not familiar with our show normally consists of safety in the news and safety. On Fridays, we just kind of talk about everything that is going on. Not passionately, but we talk about everything because it's just an easier thing to go about. So if you're good with that, well, that's cool. And if you want to interact with the show, it's a simple process on doing so. All you have to do is go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com. Once you get there, audio, video, text messaging are the options that are readily available to you, where you can pretty much do whatever you want. No, seriously, you can pretty much do whatever you want. And then once that occurs, boom, bingo, kaboom. All the fun stuff, all of the stuff that will take place and all of the fun stuff that will happen. So with that being said, let's do this. Let's go ahead and bring in the weekly review segment, because, what we'll do here is we'll talk about, or I'll play you a little clip, because that's kind of really the way that it goes. A clip of everything that's going on, because that's really the best way to use it. So if you're good with this, I'm good with this. Let's do the week in review. I think we should do it right now.
And in Atlanta, FBI agents with search warrants raided a county election facility yesterday looking for ballots and other records from the 2020 election. Now, this is all tied to President Trump's ongoing claim that he actually won the state of Georgia. There is no evidence that that claim is correct, and Republican officials in the state have also disputed that.
It's the new video of Alex Freddie sparking intense debate today. It was recorded 11 days before he was shot to death, and it shows the nurse yelling expletives at ICE agents. He's also spitting at their vehicles. Then he kicks an SUV, breaking the taillight.
The man now in charge of immigration enforcement in Minneapolis, Tom Homan, saying the operation will continue, but that a drawdown of federal agents there is possible.
Luigi Mangione, the target of a Minnesota man's bizarre plot to break him out of a federal jail in Brooklyn. 36-year-old Mark Anderson is charged with impersonating an FBI special agent after he showed up to the Metropolitan Detention Center Wednesday, according to a complaint, claiming he was an FBI agent in possession of paperwork signed by a judge authorizing the release of a specific inmate. A law enforcement source telling NBC News that inmate was Mangione. Mangione has pleaded not guilty to federal and state charges for allegedly gunning down United Healthcare's CEO.
Senate Democrats say they have reached a short-term deal with Republicans to keep the government open for now. And just moments ago, President Trump endorsed this deal. Senate Democrats were refusing to keep the government funded until the Trump administration agreed to rein in their immigration crackdown.
Bruce Willis, the 70-year-old Emmy winner, was diagnosed back in 2023 with frontotemporal dementia, which limits his ability to communicate. So on a recent podcast, Emma Hemming Willis says that Bruce is unaware that he has dementia, but that he is still very present in his body.
You guys see this? Trump said that he's skipping the Super Bowl this year because it's just too far away. Apparently, the NFL was like, if you stay home, we'll give you the football peace prize.
Okay, so there you go. That's the weekend review of the things that have been happening this week. If you were not familiar with them, so there you know. Hopefully you are good with this. Oh, I'm getting in trouble because I didn't do this. Let's do this one. Sorry about that.
Warning. The following program may feature content that'll give you the warm fuzzies all day long. Listen at your own risk.
Really? The warm fuzzies? Okay, well, whatever. Whatever works. So let's do this. Let's bring in my friends from Feature Story News. They're going to go ahead and let you know what the hell's going on inside of the world, though, because that's kind of what they do. They'll give you everything inside of the industry, and then we'll go from there. So here's the news coming your way right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Simon Gaitan. At least 3 people have been killed and several others injured in a bomb explosion at a market in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Chris Ochamringa has more from Kinshasa.
The bomb blast at the market in Sange town has caused fear and panic among the locals. At least 3 people have been confirmed dead and 10 others were wounded in the blast. It's still not clear who planted the bomb in the market. The town of Sange is widely considered a base for M23 rebels who recently withdrew from the city of Uvira after the U.S. government threatened to take action against Rwanda for seizing the strategic city. The conflict in eastern DRC has left thousands of people dead and displaced millions others since late 2021.
US President Donald Trump has warned the UK against getting too close to China.
Well, it's very dangerous for them to do that, and you can't look at China as the answer.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is visiting China to strengthen business ties. It's understood Downing Street made Washington aware of the trip and its objectives in advance. Addressing business leaders in China, Keir Starmer says he had very good meetings with Chinese officials.
The UK has got a huge amount to offer, and I was able to set that out. And as a result of our engagement, we've halved tariffs on whiskey and also got visa-free travel to China for Brits. So really important access, symbolic of what we're doing with the relationship.
The Israeli government has held high-level security consultations as speculation continues to swirl over a possible US attack on Iran. Blake Sifton reports from Tel Aviv.
The Israeli government reportedly believes that even a limited U.S. strike on Iran would lead to a significant Iranian attack on Israel. A top advisor to Iran's supreme leader recently said that Iran would respond to a U.S. strike with immediate and comprehensive retaliation, including at the heart of Tel Aviv. Prime Minister Netanyahu has threatened to respond to an Iranian attack with unprecedented force. Senior Israeli defense and intelligence officials are reportedly in D.C. this week for talks with the Trump administration.
India's chief economic advisor says the government should consider age-based limits to access social media, flagging the predatory nature of these apps. Any usage restrictions in India could be a huge blow for social media giants, given that this is one of the largest markets for these companies. Neha Punya reports from New Delhi.
The recommendation was made by the country's chief economic advisor in an annual policy document that reflects discussions in the Indian government. The recommendation is not binding, but in the past, suggestions made in the document have led to policy reform and changes. The document says the government should consider age-based access limits as, quote, younger users are more vulnerable to compulsive use and harmful content. Neha Punya, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, ending the week with a very sober warning about the rapidity of developments in the field of artificial intelligence. A new poll this week showed that more than a quarter of all workers in Britain fear they will lose their jobs to AI in the next 5 years. And this week alone, Amazon announced a further 16,000 job losses, mainly in America, because of AI. This was the week when Geoffrey Hinton, the so-called godfather of AI, predicted that virtually every single job on the planet is going to be replaced by the industry that he now regrets having sparked.
Already we're seeing starting jobs in many professions like lawyers being taken over by AI. Most experts believe that sometime within the next 20 years, quite possibly within 10 years, we'll have superintelligence, something better than us, and that will be able to do any new job that's created. It'll be all of them. The big tech companies are thinking, if we can be the first to get really good AI, human-level AI, we can make a lot of money selling AI to companies so that they can replace workers. As far as I can see, that's the only place they can get their huge investments back. They're not thinking about the social consequences of that. They're assuming somehow the state will take care of it, but I don't see how it can.
What does all that mean for youngsters trying to position themselves for the future? Geoffrey Hinton's got ideas for them, and you'll hear those on Monday. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories. At least 3 people have been killed and several others injured in a bomb explosion at a market in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. US President Donald Trump has warned the UK against getting too close to China. The Israeli government has held high-level security consultations as speculation continues to swirl over a possible US attack on Iran. And calls grow for age-based limits on social media access in India. That's the latest feature story news. Simon Gaitan reporting.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Ever catch yourself thinking, I could do this on my own? If you're a safety officer with real-world skills, you don't have to wait for permission to build your freedom. On Saturday, January 31st, I'm hosting Safety Consultant 101, a free live workshop. In 2 hours, I'll help you package your expertise into a service clients will pay for and set pricing boundaries so you don't get stuck doing free advice forever. Register now at safetyconsultant101.com. Let's build your freedom.
You've seen the loop. You've felt the shift. The script doesn't fit anymore, and neither do you. Safety transmission. The collapse of the construct is the third and final signal in the trilogy from J. Allen, Ph.D. And this time, it's not about waking up. It's about what you do once you're awake. The system didn't break. It just stopped pretending to hold you. And now it's blinking, rebranding presence, packaging resistance, and calling it progress. This book isn't a guide. It's a transmission. It doesn't teach the system how to evolve. It shows you how to stop performing for it. You'll see what happens when awareness becomes responsibility, when audits don't listen, and when leadership becomes a loop. But if you've made it this far, you're not here to be managed. You're here to carry signal. Safety Transmission, The Collapse of the Construct. Now available in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by J. Allen, Ph.D. Because if it couldn't hold your signal, it was never real to begin with.
Let's start using cutting-edge warp speed 5G technology with your cell phone. Let me tell you about my friends at mobilemobile.io. They have an ultra-fast 4G LTE and 5G network that covers 99% of Americans. So they've got you covered everywhere. Think about it for a moment. You have the opportunity to take a test drive for 10 days with unlimited talk, text, and premium premium data. What is premium data? Premium data is an allotment of a cellular data that you receive from a higher priority on the network. You won't get throttled like you will with some of those, well, non-brand service providers. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to mobilemobile.io. That's mobilemobile.io to start your 10-day free trial.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, here we go. Currently 15 minutes past the top of the hour, and we got some news stories definitely to uncover and talk about all the stuff that is going on inside of our environment. That is for sure. So let's see. Where do we want to start? Let's start off kind of just giving you all the clusterfuck of everything that we got going here. A Georgia elementary school assistant principal is in serious trouble after allegedly running her own little math lesson at Walmart self-checkout and failing it. Courtney Janelle Shaw, 47, was arrested after investigations say that she stole 98 items worth nearly $1,000 over 2 months stretch using stacking scheme. Pile items together, scan once, pay for one, and then walk out with many. Walmart Asset Protection caught on, reviewed the surveillance footage and tracked the vehicles back to Shaw, and police made the arrest. She now is facing felony shoplifting charge and was briefly jailed and released on a bond and then placed in administrative leave by the school district. The irony is that Shaw has more than 2 decades in education and was literally praised for her experience and dedication right up until Walmart, did the grading. So that's what it sounds like there. So let me make sure that I understand this real quick. You have stolen, allegedly, 98 items in total for $1,000, and you got caught. And you were supposed to be known as this great educator, which you probably could be, and not saying that you're not. But man, it got crazy over $1,000. So it turns out the assistant principal really believed in hands-on learning. She taught math, just not subtraction. Also, self-checkout isn't scanned what you feel like. And lesson plan: steal 98 items, learn 1 felony. Administration tells kids honesty matters unless it's on aisle 7. She confused principal discounts with criminal intent. And when they say teach by example, this is not what they meant exactly. She went from assistant principal to assistant defendant real fast. And imagine explaining this at career day. That's going to get fun when it's all said and done. So what do you think there? A lot of stuff going on. I mean, I don't know. It gets weird. So take a listen to this one. I got another one for you. An 80-year-old British man who once hit the lottery for $3.3 million is now heading to prison for the rest of his golden years, not for bingo fraud, but for running a massive fake pill empire. John Eric Seaby was sentenced to 16 years and 6 months after the jury found that he helped operate one of the largest counterfeit drug operations ever uncovered in the UK. Prosecutors say that John used his lottery winnings to upgrade his quiet rural home into an industrial scale pill factory, cranking out fake volume worth about $398 million on the street. The operation also involved firearms and ammunition. Police described it as a full-blown organized crime network, complete with front companies and encrypted chats, where John even joked that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos should watch their backs despite the claims from his defense that he wasn't the real boss. The judge wasn't buying it, calling John Sr. in both name and role and blasting him for continuing his criminal lifelong after people retire to gardening and early dinners. His son and 2 other men were also sentenced to lengthy prison sentences. So there you go. He won the lottery and still chose crime, proved that money can't buy common sense. And most 80-year-olds collect stamps. This guy collected felony charges. Quiet rural home, loud criminal record. So there you go. Instead of bingo night, he ran volume night. I mean, oh yeah, there you go. Also, when your middle age crisis shows up at the age of 80s with a pill press, and his golden years turned into cell block gray, and he won millions and still said, you know what I need? felonies. So there you go. Some stuff going on right there. Do you want to go down this aisle a little bit more, or are we good? Okay, so I'm going to give you, let's stay into this category just for a few more moments. So take a listen to this one real quick. A Wisconsin highway turned into a beer lover fantasy as troopers nightmare after a semi-trailer hauling New Glarus beer crashed and flipped early on Wednesday morning. The truck veered northbound on U.S. Highway 151 around 6:15 a.m., smashed into a guardrail, overturned, and spilled 264 half-barrel kegs across the lanes. The mess shut down the highway for hours between State Highway 26 ramps as crews cleaned up the twisted metal and wrangled runaway kegs. 3 vehicles were damaged in the chaos. 1 person suffered minor injuries. And sadly, tragically, the beer is being returned to the brewery, not redistributed to the public. Wisconsin wept. No word on sobriety tests on the road, but officials confirmed that only things was wasted was time and everyone's hopes. Wisconsin traffic reports delays due to much beer and not enough cups. Let's see. When they say take the brakes, this is not what they mean. Also, the only accident where drivers slow down out of respect. Somewhere in Wisconsin, dad whispers, "I could have helped." The truck flipped, the beer rolled, and the dream just died. State motto briefly changed, so close yet so far. The most Wisconsin wrecked imaginable, even when the guardrail needs a drink. Drivers didn't rubberneck, they mourned. And also somewhere, Brosrod stood silently in tribute. So there you go. Let me give you another one right here, if you don't mind. Take a listen to this one. A brutal winter storm buried a city in snow. A city in Cincinnati, I should say. Or should I say Cincinnati, the city. Most drivers were told to stay home, but an ambulance carrying a critical baby ill named Bryson had no such luxury. With roads nearly impassable, help came from an unexpected hero, a snowplow. Hamilton County plow driver Joe Estes answered an urgent call and carved a path through the whiteout conditions, escorting the ambulance along I-71 and the city streets so that the baby could reach the Cincinnati Children's Hospital. The trip even included a hospital-to-hospital transfer, all while snow kept piling on. Video of the plow leading the ambulance went viral, but Estes brushed off the praise, calling himself just a truck driver. Officials later confirmed that Bryson is doing well thanks to the cleared lane, quick thinking of one guy who decided winner wasn't winning that day. So there you go. You can never understand what exactly human potential is in regards of the things that are going on. So thank you to the young man that went out there and saved the life of another, Joe Estes. So there you go. Take a listen to this one. A factory screwed up in China just accidentally created the perfect mascot for modern burnout. What was supposed to be a cheerful $4 stuffed horse of the year. For the year of the horse came out to a muzzle sewn on upside down results. A toy that looks openly sobbing at a desk questioning its life choices instead of a smile. No, seriously, this is not a joke as I'm saying this. Let's see. So it's a full frown and nostrils that look like tears. Manufacturing oops viral gold. Once the photos hit the internet, demand exploded. The factory in Yiwu went from selling hundreds a day to tens of thousands, with bulk orders pouring in as far as South Africa. Turns out that the sadness scales well, and the reason it hit, young office workers saw themselves in it. Many already call themselves Niama, a slang for overworked, underpaid, grind animals. This horse didn't look defective. It looked honest, exhausted, defeated, and still clock it in, if you know what I'm saying there.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
I'm just saying. I mean, I don't know. This is how these things go. What do you want me to say? Like, seriously, a lot of stuff happens around there. A lot of things. So let's continue talking. A lot of stuff happening inside of this world. Should we talk about the customers who sued Costco? Yeah, okay, so let's talk about this. Costco legendary $4.99 rotisserie chicken, the bird that has fed the nation of lazy diners, is now facing legal trouble. 2 California shoppers filed a proposed class action lawsuit claiming that Costco falsely advertises that Kirkland Signature seasoned rotisserie chicken as having no preservatives. The lawsuit says the chicken actually contains sodium phosphate and carrageenan additives. The plaintiffs argue argue function as preservatives. According to the complaint, Costco has allegedly misled customers and pocketed tens and not hundreds of millions of dollars in the process. So the lawsuit is just clucking seriously. Rotisserie chicken now requires a law degree to digest. The bird didn't just rotate, it allegedly misinterpreted itself or misrepresented itself as well. Also, Costco chicken survived inflation. Now it's fighting litigation. And shoppers wanted dinner, not a chemistry quiz, because that's what it sounds like for sure. So there you go. Some things to talk about as we are going on. Okay. As we're going into the weekend, I guess we should talk about this one because this is one of these news stories that I found that I was like, hey, maybe it should be shared or maybe it shouldn't. But hey, we're on Friday, and when it comes to
Freeform Friday,
we go ahead and we talk a little bit about everything that's going on. A relationship therapist says that weekends are the secret weapon for keeping couples strong if you use them right. Amy Morin hosts the Mentally Stronger podcast, laid out 5 habits happy couples practice on weekends to recharge and stay connected. The first one might catch people off guard. They spend time apart. Morin says that maintaining independence builds trust and keeps resentment from creeping in, whether that's one partner meeting friends while the other hits the gym. But separation only works when it's balanced with intentional connection. Morin says that successful couples create small, consistent rituals like regular Sunday walks that reinforce reliability and emotional security. Beyond rituals, she stresses the importance of true quality time, not just coexisting on the same couch. Phone-free meals, shared projects, or activities that demand attention to help partners feel genuinely seen and heard. The fourth habit is honest conversations. Weekends offer space to talk through the highs and lows of the week, with vulnerability playing a key role in strengthening trust and emotional intimacy. Finally, Morin says that happy couples show appreciation even for small things. Simple expressions of gratitude help partners feel valued and motivate both people to continue investing in the relationship. Well, maybe some people should just be happy for small things.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
Yeah, there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the world of the multiverse. I'm going to get, not love too much here if I don't get into some serious stuff here in the near future. So let's go ahead and talk about this one. Ghislaine Maxwell is claiming that she has dozens of Jeffrey Epstein's associates who were secretly protected by the Justice Department while she was prosecuted and sentenced to prison. The habeas corpus petition filed on December the 17th, Maxwell argues that her conviction should be overturned because prosecutors allegedly cut on undisclosed settlement deals with 25 men connected to the Epstein and declined to charge 4 others who alleged co-conspiracy while presenting her case to the jury as no such agreement existed. She does not name any of the individuals. Maxwell claims that she allegedly secrecy undermined the fairness of her trial and violated her constitutional rights, arguing that she have called those individuals as witness had she known about the deals. She also argues that jurors' misconduct, suppression of evidence, and violation of Epstein's 2007 Florida non-prosecution agreement, which she argues extended immunity to co-conspirators. She further claims that she has selectively prosecuted for political reasons. A judge previously ruled the Supreme Court would not hear her appeal, leaving her December 2021 conviction intact. Maxwell is currently serving 20-year sentence in a minimum security prison in Texas for sex trafficking tied to Epstein's abuse of underage girls between 1994 and 2004. So what do you think here? No, seriously, what do you think here? Some stuff going on right there, some serious stuff. This is not a joke. but this is something where she's come up with in regards of some information of what is going on. So what do you think when it's all said and done? So I don't know. Definitely makes it some interesting times as we are hanging out. No doubt about that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Apparently, this has been making the circles. Bruce Springsteen is back in protest mode, and the White House is rolling its eyes hard. The boss dropped a new anti-ICE song, Streets of Minneapolis, aimed straight to the President Trump, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and what Springsteen's called state terror following the deaths of Alex Britti and Renee Good during ICE operations in Minneapolis. The track features real protest audio, chant ICE out now, and lyrics blasting King Trump and his private army from DHS. The Trump administration wasted no time clapping back. White House spokesperson Abigail Jackson dismissed the song as irrelevant and inaccurate, saying that the administration is focused on removing dangerous criminals and illegal aliens. Not reacting to what called random songs with bad information, she also took a swing at Democrats, accusing them of shielding criminals by refusing to cooperate with federal law enforcement. Springsteen, meanwhile, says that the song is dedicated to Minneapolis immigrant communities and the victims he believes were unjustly killed. So there you go. A lot of information going on right there. Let me give you one more as we are talking. Newly released video footage has ignited controversy over the killing of Alex Britti. Let's see. The 37-year-old ICU nurse who was shot and killed by federal agents in Minneapolis earlier this month. The video shows on January the 13th confrontation 11 days before Britti was killed, in which he was forcefully taken to the ground by federal immigration agents during the protest. In the footage, Britti is seen yelling at officers, kicking a taillight out of a federal vehicle, and struggling as agents pin him down. His coat comes off during the scuffle, and he is eventually breaks free or is released and runs away. As Britti turns his back to the camera, it appears to be a handgun is visible in his waistband. The video do not show him reaching for the weapon, and it remains unclear whether the agents noticed it at the time. A source confirmed to the AP that the man in the video is Britti, and that later he was told that his family was about the encounter. The footage was fueled with the renewed national debate over his death. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on right there as we are talking. Do we want to do this one? Let's do this one too. A 4.2 magnitude earthquake near Malmstrom Air Force Base in Montana happened on Wednesday, in case you did not know, rattling the area that oversees one of the largest concentrations of U.S. nuclear weapons. The quake hit around 12:41 p.m. local time, just 7 miles from the base in Great Falls. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, residents across the region reported strong shaking. The tremors felt like 85 miles away. The quake was shallow, about 6 miles below the surface, which typically leads to stronger ground movement. The USGS warned that there is a 27% chance of aftershocks of magnitude 3 or higher in the coming week. The location raised immediate concern because Malmstrom controls roughly 150 Minuteman III international ballistic missile silos spread across 13,800 square miles of central Montana. It is the largest nuclear missile complex in the Western Hemisphere as part of the U.S. arsenal of the 400 ICBMs, capable of launching within seconds. So far, the military has not said whether any of the silos launch control facilities were damaged, and no official statement has been issued. Montana isn't known for frequent earthquakes, but it does sit along the intermountain seismic belt, a fault zone capable of producing moderate quakes. So there you go. Anyways, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into that thing that we would normally do right now. That is our main story. But today, because it's Freeform Friday, it's the news.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Simon Gaitan. At least 3 people have been killed and several others injured in a bomb explosion at a market in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Chris Ochamringa has more from Kinshasa.
The bomb blast at the market in Sange town has caused fear and panic among the locals. At least 3 people have been confirmed dead and 10 others were wounded in the blast. It's still not clear who planted the bomb in the market. The town of Sangay is widely considered a base for M23 rebels who recently withdrew from the city of Uvira after the U.S. government threatened to take action against Rwanda for seizing the strategic city. The conflict in eastern DRC has left thousands of people dead and displaced millions others since late 2021.
US President Donald Trump has warned the UK against getting too close to China.
Well, it's very dangerous for them to do that, and I think you can't look at China as the answer.
UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer is visiting China to strengthen business ties. It's understood Downing Street made Washington aware of the trip and its objectives in advance. Addressing business leaders in China, Keir Starmer says he had very good meetings with Chinese officials.
The UK has got a huge amount to offer, and I was able to set that out. And as a result of our engagement, we've halved tariffs on whiskey and also got visa-free travel to China for Brits. So really important access, symbolic of what we're doing with the relationship.
The Israeli government has held high-level security consultations as speculation continues to swirl over a possible US attack on Iran. Blake Sifton reports from Tel Aviv.
The Israeli government reportedly believes that even a limited U.S. strike on Iran would lead to a significant Iranian attack on Israel. A top advisor to Iran's supreme leader recently said that Iran would respond to a U.S. strike with immediate and comprehensive retaliation, including at the heart of Tel Aviv. Prime Minister Netanyahu has threatened to respond to an Iranian attack with unprecedented force. Senior Israeli defense and intelligence officials are reportedly in D.C. this week for talks with the Trump administration.
India's chief economic advisor says the government should consider age-based limits to access social media, flagging the predatory nature of these apps. Any usage restrictions in India could be a huge blow for social media giants, given that this is one of the largest markets for these companies. Neha Punya reports from New Delhi.
The recommendation was made by the country's chief economic advisor in an annual policy document that reflects discussions in the Indian government. The recommendation is not binding, but in the past, suggestions made in the document have led to policy reform and changes. The document says the government should consider age-based access limits as, quote, younger users are more vulnerable to compulsive use and harmful content. Neha Punya, New Delhi.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks, ending the week with a very sober warning about the rapidity of developments in the field of artificial intelligence. A new poll this week showed that more than a quarter of all workers in Britain fear they will lose their jobs to AI in the next 5 years. And this week alone, Amazon announced a further 16,000 job losses, mainly in America, because of AI. This was the week when Geoffrey Hinton, the so-called godfather of AI, predicted that virtually every single job on the planet is going to be replaced by the industry that he now regrets having sparked.
Already we're seeing starting jobs in many professions like lawyers being taken over by AI. Most experts believe that sometime within the next 20 years, quite possibly within 10 years, we'll have superintelligence, something better than us, and that will be able to do any new job that's created. It'll be all of them. The big tech companies are thinking, if we can be the first to get really good AI, human-level AI, we can make a lot of money selling AI to companies so that they can replace workers. As far as I can see, that's the only place they can get their huge investments back. They're not thinking about the social consequences of that. They're assuming somehow the state will take care of it, but I don't see how it can.
What does all that mean for youngsters trying to position themselves for the future? Geoffrey Hinton's got ideas for them, and you'll hear those on Monday. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
To recap the top stories. At least 3 people have been killed and several others injured in a bomb explosion at a market in the east of the Democratic Republic of Congo. US President Donald Trump has warned the UK against getting too close to China. The Israeli government has held high-level security consultations as speculation continues to swirl over a possible US attack on Iran. And calls grow for age-based limits on social media access in India. That's the latest feature story news. Simon Gaitan reporting.
Bringing you information you never knew you cared about. Rated R Safety Show.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete Signal Transmission Trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion, the book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all 3 books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
I don't want to play in your band yet. It ain't that good. Hey! No way! Hey! Hey, little guitar boy. I got some news for you. Just for you. Just for you. Hey, little guitar boy. I got some things that I'd really like to tell you.
Okay, she has some things that she would really like to tell you. Okay, so here you go. This is news for you on the Rated R Safety Show. This is Claire Crowther. Songs readily available on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Pandora. Yeah, Pandora. So, yeah, songs readily available. We would like to thank Claire Crowther for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, she doesn't want to blame you. Yeah, so there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the multiverse because that's what we do around here. No doubt about that. So a lot of good times, hopefully, as we are hanging out. Anyways, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will ever tell you in my lifetime. And that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And we want you to know that people have been where you are now and that things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, there'll be information related to addiction, depression, anxiety, eating disorders, self-injury, suicide, trauma, and grief support, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com, To Write Love on Her Arms. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of the multiverse of ours as always. So just want to let you know, if you are in Central Florida, next week you have a chance to spend $50. Well, you probably have a chance to do that every day, but this will give you some kind of value that you are probably not accustomed to. They are doing Safety Day by ACFS, Alliance for Central Florida Safety. If you go to acfs.org for $50, including CEUs, parking, food, and a whole day of information about what the hell is going on inside of the industry. All you have to do is go to acfs.org. Date is February the 4th. Rosen Plaza. All you have to do is go over there, sign up, $50. It will take care of you for the whole day. We'll actually be there as well, broadcasting live, just so you know, doing our stuff as we get to do over there, no doubt about that. Okay, and let me share this one with you as well, because some people have asked me about workshops. So here you go. Got a workshop coming up in Santa Fe, New Mexico, March the 31st through April the 1st of 2026. We're going to be over there hanging out, doing our thing. We'll be having the Conklin workshop. We're going to be doing some incident investigations and would love for you to be involved. We'll have, of course, Todd Conklin there, Ad Laren, and also Redonda Voigt in regards to talking about her story and what exactly happened to her. And we'll talk about some of the stuff that's going on with that story. And then we're going to look at it through some different lenses using the technology used by Learning Team Inc. and Brett Sutton. So there you go. Would love to see you there. If you want to know more information about that one, you can scan the QR code on the screen or go to safetyfm.com and click on the section that says Live Events. That will get everything rolling for you. So there you go. That's some stuff going on as we are always talking about events. I keep on getting asked about Conklin Conference. Nothing set. We're doing Conklin Workshop at the particular moment. This is just 2 days, not 3 days like the other one. Would love to see you there in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and we'll go from there, that's for sure. Okay, with that being said, I do have some John Smalls. I should probably hit the keyboard as I'm trying to talk. I should have some John Smalls coming up for him to talk a little bit about what the hell's going on with the Motivation Minute. You know, it is the Friday edition, so that's why we're all over the place, because on Freeform Friday, we just talk about anything that comes to mind. That's the easiest way to do that. Also, call-in radio. Thanks for the interaction there. Always a good time there for sure. So here's some John Smalls coming your way with the Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Norman. Cary Grant said, "I pretended to be somebody I wanted to be until finally I became that person." Or he became me. I love this quote. Archie Leach was his real name, and his story is absolutely amazing. There was a short series about his life a few years back. It was made by his ex-wife and his daughter. It was on Amazon Prime, and I watched it and I loved it. Archie did not have a great life. He decided to do something about it. So he left England and he moved to America. He made the decision to become whoever he wanted to be. That included a new name, and he literally picked it out of a phone book. He was a handsome man, and he was noticed on the set of a movie. Then he got a bigger role in that movie, and Cary Grant became a huge star. Now, this might be more than most people need to do, but sometimes it's good to reinvent yourself a little bit. Just a little bit.
The Motivation Minute.
This has been the Motivation Minute. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
You're listening to unbiased headline news 24 hours a day. This is Daily Cast syndicated radio news.
Radio Big. USA, Canada, UK.
Tensions are rising overseas as world leaders trade sharp words and warnings.
Britain's Prime Minister is in Beijing meeting Chinese leaders, stressing that the United Kingdom must balance security risks with trade and investment ties. An American study is projecting that Russian and Ukrainian casualties could reach 2 million after 4 years of war, underscoring the conflict's steep human cost. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Europe is dealing with diplomatic fallout as Rwanda challenges a scrapped migration pact.
Rwanda has launched an international arbitration case after Britain pulled out of a deal that would have sent asylum seekers to the African nation, a flagship policy of the previous UK government. The new Labour administration in London cancelled the plan, arguing it was unworkable and costly, prompting Kigali to seek compensation. Chris Anderson reporting.
In the United States, the Trump administration is under growing scrutiny as new details emerge about a deadly shooting.
Federal officials have confirmed that 2 immigration officers fired their weapons during the killing of Alex Preddy, a U.S. citizen shot during an encounter with Border Patrol agents in Minneapolis. A Department of Homeland Security notice to Congress said investigators are still working to determine whose bullet struck Preddy, while body camera footage remains under review. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
The nation's political and legal institutions are also focused on the future of U.S. monetary policy.
At its first policy meeting of the year, the Federal Reserve has held its benchmark interest rate steady after 3 cuts last year, signaling a pause while officials assess the economy. The decision comes as the Justice Department investigates Fed Chair Jerome Powell over a building renovation project, an inquiry he has described as a pretext to weaken the central bank's autonomy. Kyle Norris reporting.
Amazon, one of America's biggest tech giants, is cutting deeply into its workforce.
Amazon is laying off about 16,000 employees in what is its second major round of job cuts in 2 months, targeting roles across hardware, cloud services, and corporate teams. Company leaders say the reductions are meant to streamline operations and free up resources. Kevin Sanders reporting.
The administration's hard line on Venezuela is under the spotlight as Congress presses Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
Rubio has told lawmakers the United States is prepared to take new military action against Venezuela if conditions there deteriorate further, even as tensions remain high, following the abduction of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife. He defended the administration's sanctions and security measures. Liam White reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
Oh, yes, we are something for sure. We just haven't figured out what exactly we are. That is for sure as we are talking. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. As I take a look around 1998, the All-Star Florida Marlin catcher Darian Dalton retires. In 1976, George Bush becomes the 11th director of the CIA until 1977. And also in some other news, 2007, Sidney Sheldon, author-producer, died. So there you go. If you're looking for some celebrity birthdays for today, let's talk about some of those. Phil Collins turned 75. Jody Watley turned 67. Christian Bale turns 52. Vilmar Valderrama turns 46. So there you go. That's some birthdays. Let's talk about some things that you ought to know. Canada just found a new pressure point in its trade fight with the president, and it got Made in China label on it. A response to President Trump's tariffs, Ottawa is cracking open the door to Chinese electric vehicles, welcoming them just as the U.S. automakers are pulling back operations from north of the border. While those with the Chinese EVs effectively shut out of the U.S. market, Canada is rolling out the welcome mat. The shift comes under a new trade setup that ditches Canada's old 100% tariffs on Chinese-made cars and replaces it with a cap of 49,000 vehicles and relatively tame 6.1 duty. So there you go. Also, tonight's Mega Million jackpot is for $303 million. Tomorrow's Powerball is for $157 million, just in case you wanted to know. Also, President Trump is taking legal flamethrower to Washington. The president, along with two of his sons and the Trump Organization, filed a $10 billion lawsuit against the IRS and the Treasury Department, accusing the agencies of failing to protect his confidential tax returns. The suit claims that those records were unlawfully leaked to the left-leaning newspaper, turning private tax data into political ammo. Filed in the federal court in Miami, the lawsuit zeroes in on former IRS employee Charles Chaz Littlejohn, alleging the government dropped the ball by not stopping them from preventing the leaks of the 2019 and 2020 tax returns. The Trump side argues that the IRS and Treasury violated the core safeguard taxpayer information, calling the disclosure illegal and damaging. So there you go. Let me see. Let me give you one more real quick. A powerful Arctic blast is set to slam South Florida, sending temperatures plunging to levels not seen in decades. Forecasters say that reading from Saturday night through Monday morning could be rival to historic freezes from 2010, 1989, 1977, even 1966. The freeze threatens Florida's iconic citrus industry, echoing past cold snaps that permanently reshaped the state's groves after the introduction centuries ago. Millions across the Sunshine States are being told to bundle up. Low temperatures in the mid-20s Fahrenheit forecast for Orlando on Sunday and Monday mornings. In Miami, temperatures are projected to dip into the mid-30s on Sunday and Monday. So there you go. A lot of stuff. Anyways, that's going to sum up our time together. Thanks for hanging out with me on this lovely Friday. No doubt about that. If I can leave you with some words of wisdom for today, here you go. If you think someone could use a friend, be one. That's the best thing you can do. At the top of the hour, I'll be going over to RadioBig.fm. If you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so, we'll be talking about the world of music and entertainment. If you don't want to go over there, you can hang out right here with the likes of Sheldon Primus and talking about the world of safety consulting. I know who you are. You know who I am. Love you, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are solely those of the host and guests and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of Safety FM and or Radio Big. The content discussed, including examples of analysis, is provided for illustrative purposes only. It should not be applied as the sole solution in real-world scenarios, as it is based on limited and dated open source information. Any assumptions made during this broadcast, podcast, or radio show are not reflective of Safety FM and or Radio Big. No portion of this broadcast, podcast, or radio show may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, electronic, mechanical, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of Safety FM and or Radio Big. For permission requests, please contact Safety FM or Radio Big directly.
Now your photo is on the gram, turns out you pay for them. It's out of date to be fake. Time to get with the program. Someone's coming to review. Yes, you pay for that too. It's a sham, all a lie. Time for me to say goodbye. I don't want to do it. I don't want to play.
This isn't a safety manual. It's a transmission. Jay Allen, PhD, host of the Rated R Safety Show and founder of Safety FM, has spent years pulling back the curtain on the systems we work in and the ones we don't talk about. What started as a fatal crash on the 405 became a search for truth through behavior-based safety, human and organizational performance, simulation theory, and everything in between. Safety, in my opinion, is raw, reflective, and real. From burnout to breakthroughs, from the matrix to the moment someone says, "This doesn't feel right." This book doesn't give you answers. It hands you the signal. Safety, in my opinion. Available now, wherever books and audiobooks are found.
What if everything we thought we knew about safety was just interference? From the host of the Rated R Safety Show and the founder of Safety FM comes the complete signal transmission trilogy, now available in one powerful edition. Safety, in my opinion. The book that started the conversation. Safety Mutation, where the boundaries of culture, systems, and belief begin to break. And now, Safety Transmission, the final piece of the signal. For the first time, all three books are together in one volume. The Signal Transmission Trilogy, Complete Edition. This isn't just about compliance. It's about consciousness. It's about decoding the way we think, lead, and live, inside and outside the system. Whether you've been following the signal since the beginning or you're just now tuning in, this is the version to own. Search Signal Trilogy on Amazon or visit safetyfm.com to get your copy now.
In safety, in my opinion, you woke up. You saw the system, the simulation, the structure that trained you to mistake compliance for care. Safety mutation. Information misdirection picks up where the signal fractured. Because the system didn't shut you down, it rebranded you. It packaged your voice, sold your rebellion as a new initiative, and smiled while doing it. This isn't a manual. It's a decoded transmission about what happens when slogans replace stories, when safety becomes marketing, and when truth gets mirrored so perfectly, you forget it was ever yours. You'll see the mutation. Learning teams turned into theater, zero harm turned into optics, and feedback turned into formatting. But the signal didn't die. It was redirected. Safety Mutation is Book 2 of the Signal Transmission Trilogy. Available now in print, Kindle, and audiobook. Narrated by the author Jay Allen, PhD. Because the system adapted. Now it's your move.